Welcome to the Financial Wellness Academy, educating and empowering you to master your money so that you can live the life that you desire, regardless of your current circumstances. My name is Caitriona Ellis, and on today's vlog, we're going to talk about procrastination and why time is the number one excuse given for people not being able to sort their money out. And I definitely confidently call BS on that because we all have the same time in our days and we all have the same possibilities of whether we decide to do something about our money stuff or not. And to me, it is never a question of time. It is down to a very simple question over whether it's a priority in your life or not. And if you're not currently giving it time, and if your money is not currently where you want it to be, then it is a simple case of you not prioritizing it. And when it comes to prioritizing money, sadly, the space when people actually prioritize their money is usually in crisis. And it is when that truck has crashed and you are experiencing high levels of pain around your money, that's when it tends to get attention. And unfortunately, if that's when you prioritize your money, it is going to be a much sharper, steeper hill to climb in those circumstances. So that's why I would encourage you massively to take heed now that your money is something that you can address at any time. And it is definitely advisable to prioritize your money now when things are hopefully in a relatively great state of calm and you don't have any massive financial challenges right now. And there's a lovely expression that says, when the universe is trying to give you a message, it will give you a little tickle. And if you pay attention and take action, then great. And often we don't because we just think, oh, it's okay, it'll be fine. And then the next message is maybe via something a little bit more sterner, and the universe gives you a slap, and you kind of think, oh, maybe I should do something about that. And often we don't again. And then we wait for that wipeout, that crushing blow to take us out before we actually do something. And this is often something, I guess, that you can apply to many facets of your life, whether it's your health, your wealth, etc. But it definitely applies when it comes to your money stuff. So don't wait for that truck to hit. Take the time now, make it priority for your money to deal with whatever it is you need to get in order. And when I was starting this journey with my money, exactly like most people, I got to a place of great pain with my money. And it was then that I started to put attention and priority on it. And at that time in my life, I had three small children. Sleep deprivation was a massive factor. So I really struggled for energy, really, at that time, in addition to prioritizing. But once I got the priority in place, interestingly, what I found was that the more I started to focus on my money and the better shape I got it into, the more time I was able to give to it. So I had the exact same time before, but it was like providing that priority to the money and starting to see the progress that I was able to make in the situation that I was in gave me so much hope and provided me with extra energy to keep going and to do more and to more and to get myself to a much better place so that things are much more stable. So it almost became addictive to go, wow, what I'm doing is really making a difference. Let me give it more time and more time. So I was at that time, I would put the kids to bed and maybe around 7:30, 8, come down and try and get some headspace for myself, knowing that I had this financial challenge in a big way and knowing I needed to do something about it. And so I would sit down with my book or my podcast or the work that I needed to do, the little jobs, work at my spreadsheet, whatever it was. And I would commit to myself to giving it 15, 20 minutes. And the more I got into it and the more I learned and the more progress I saw myself making, the more energy I wanted to give it. And that was amazing because the more time I put into it, the more progress I made. So it was really fantastic to see that over a very short period of time, as I prioritized my money stuff, the progress was immense, and it blew myself away as to how simply I could start to make a difference. At the end of the day, when I'd spent time with my kids in those tiny little chunks, because people often have the misconception that you need hours and days, and you need to have like maybe weeks and weeks off to sort this out. Well, the reality is you don't. What you need is some small chunks of time to tackle some of the key things. So we covered in an earlier vlog about how much is enough. So that's one key piece. How much do you need? What's coming in? What's going out? And that is something that's pretty easy to knock off your list, your tasks to do. So look at the previous vlog on that if that's something that you don't have clarity on right now. Maybe the next one is, well, how can you generate more income? Whether it's adding another income stream or whether it's selling stuff that you already have that you don't use. And it's just some of those questions can be answered maybe when you're walking the dog, when you're waiting for pickup or drop off at one of your kids' classes. You don't need huge chunks of time to address some of the questions. What you need is a little bit of time to reflect as to what's needed. And that great quote again as to what that next step is. And you don't need a massive big plan to get going. You just need to know what's the next step. And once that's done, what's the next step? So I can't encourage you enough to prioritize your money before that truck hits, because financial challenges come to us all at various stages in our lives. And when the challenges come and your house is in order, they're so much easier to deal with than when they hit and your money is in disarray. That is a double whammy to have to work through whatever that challenge is and the disarray. So get your house in order, make your money your priority, whether it's in those tiny little chunks, maybe on the drive to work, to, from, or maybe after bedtime, to sit down and to just give it 15, 20 minutes. What do I need to do this week? And next week, what do I need to do? And so on. And before you know it, you look back and the progress that you've made is immense. So my ask for you this week is to see, where can you find that one chunk of time for this week that you can give it a little bit of time and make your money a priority. It doesn't need to take over your life. You don't need hours at this. Just one slot of time in this week that you can give it 15, 20 minutes just to sit down and give it some thought. And you will be amazed the progress you make in just such a short space of time. And that will become addictive. So please do, as always, let me know your thoughts, comments, any questions that you have on this topic. It's something I love to talk about, and I'm just so enthused and really driven by the progress that I see you guys making as you share the progress that you're making when you take that time out to focus on your money. So here's to your financial wellness, and I will see you in the next vlog soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.